Welcome to Headline Focus here live on Core Politics with me, Rob Double. As you can see, we're in the heart of the European Parliament in Brussels today, bringing you another Inside Europe. But let's pause on that for a second and let's have a look at what's making the news. So to start off with, in the Times you can see down the side, Uber cover-up. Now Uber reportedly has revealed that it concealed a hack affecting 59 million customers and drivers last year. Now the company paid the hackers $100,000, which is about £75,000, to delete the data, and the data consisted mainly of hackers of the names, email addresses and mobile phone numbers of both users and drivers. Very interesting story there, covered in other papers as well, but on the Times' front page. Next up, it is of course budget day in the UK today, and one of the biggest days of the government and indeed the political calendar. And the Telegraph leads with budget war between Theresa May, the Prime Minister, and her Chancellor Philip Hammond. Now Theresa May's relationship with Philip Hammond is apparently at breaking point ahead of the Chancellor's speech today on the budget. Downing Street ordered the Treasury apparently to rush out announcements on schools after a lacklustre build-up. Now to do with schools, there's a pledge for more money for teacher training and also other gimmicks, or rather you could say good policies, some might call them gimmicks, of 30 rail card schemes for people between the ages of 26 and 30 years of age. May, we should say, the Prime Minister was reportedly wanting to sack Philip Hammond, her Chancellor, before the election. Obviously the result wasn't what she wanted and therefore she was unable to do so, and there's always been apparently, or reportedly, the resentment there and the cool relationship ever since that election. Let's look in focus though at the main story today, which as you can see is to do predominantly with what's happening in Zimbabwe. President Robert Mugabe has resigned as president. He has stepped down, and this has led to a new era, some are saying, for the country. As you can see here in the newspaper, pictures of Zimbabweans celebrating on the streets. President Mugabe ending the 37-year rule. The Times is saying brings to an end the brutal 37-year rule. Look at The Guardian as well. He is reporting that Robert Mugabe resigned hours after the Parliament launched proceedings to impeach him, to get rid of him. And this was after his speech he gave a few days ago, where he was expected to say he was resigning, but somehow gave the illusion that he was going to try and continue. Obviously what happens in Zimbabwe, check your international news feeds today for the latest. One more story then comes, of course, as we are here in the European Parliament, to do with Brexit, as you can see in the FT. Now apparently the UK and the EU are just 3 weeks away from finalising this Brexit divorce bill and the actual amount it's going to be. So this has been something which has been bandied around, whether it's 100 billion, 60 billion, 20 billion. Now, in 3 weeks' time or less, we're going to find out what the actual answer is. Negotiations are targeting the divorce bill and Ireland as the key points to move this sufficient progress barrier on to trade talks. Now, it should also come on the same week that Theresa May, the Prime Minister, did get agreement from her Brexit Cabinet Subcommittee that she can increase the offer of the Brexit divorce bill to the EU to over £20 billion, which has previously been offered. Some reports saying £40 billion, but they are still currently unconfirmed. That's pretty much it for Core Politics today. Here from the European Parliament, we're back tomorrow in London, but from me and all the team at Core London, have a fantastic Wednesday.